Alrighty, welcome back to the Final Fantasy X Masters Challenge mod, where we are close to being done with this section, but we do have some more swimming to do. I think I have to go up and to the right, I think. I don't know if this is here yet. Yeah, it is. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Null Frost Arm Guard. Wow. 10% on Waka is pretty good. I feel like 10% strength is maybe better though, especially for this section. Did any of them use Frost? I don't think so. I'm just going to stick with that for now. Alright, so while we're figuring out what we're doing here... Hold on. What do I do for this guy? Doesn't he counter everything? I have to darkness him or whatever. I should get... You know what I should do? I should get Riku and Titus's overdrive for this next water section before I start. Uh-oh. 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 So while I'm doing that... Oh, I already have Titus and Wakas. While I'm doing this, let's talk about the crazy Final Fantasy VII news. It has to be Buster, doesn't it? Oh my god, what is this fight, dude? Insane Final Fantasy VII news. Am I just gonna have to reset?
You shall be restored.
So Square has announced that they are delisting Final Fantasy VII from the Steam store. Now, first of all, that's just kind of wild. Like, just from a, you know, it's just kind of wild. Like, we've been playing the Final Fantasy VII Steam version on this channel for 10 years. Every mod you've ever seen me do, almost every challenge I've ever done, every Final Fantasy video you've ever seen of mine, the glitches and oddities video, the in-depths, every video you remember from my channel, it's all this version of the game. So it's just weird. It just feels weird. It's like, I was explaining it last night. It's like you've worked on Windows XP your entire life, and then you show up to work one day and all the computers have been updated to Windows 10. Like, it just feels like... But it's even greater than that, because, like, Windows is just Windows. You kind of expect it to update eventually. It feels like that thing in your neighborhood that's always that, like, the playground down the street that's always been there, and you played on it when you were a kid, and then you grew up and your kids played on it, and it's just like this thing that's always there for you, and no matter what's going on in life, that playground's always there. And then one day you drive by and the playground's been flattened, and you're just like, what is life? Like, what if this is the start? What's going to happen next? You know what I mean? So I just have like a weird feeling about it. It just feels weird. It feels weird that the tool I've used, I mean, I've opened this thing probably every day of my life for the past 9 years. Like, there have been less days that I have not opened Final Fantasy VII Steam than days that I have opened it. over the past 10 years. Whether it be getting footage for a video, playing the game itself, making a mod, testing things that are sent to me through comments, like whatever the reason. You know, it just feels weird. Now, having said that, it's not going anywhere. You can still play it. And they're basically just delisting it from the store. So, if you don't already own it, you cannot buy it. So if you don't currently own it, you should go buy it. Because once it's delisted, that's it. You can't get it unless you buy someone's Steam account. Which is wild. But that's the way it is. So go buy it. It's on sale too. They put it on sale. It's like $5. So I think they knew people were going to want to buy it. They may have even made this announcement so that everyone would go out and buy it and they'd make some money. I don't know, but yeah. That's why I made the announcement on Discord.
You shall
for everyone to go buy it.
restored.
So what does this mean? Well, they're replacing it with another version of the game. And we don't know what this other version is, but there's a very good chance that it's simply the Windows version, which is basically the PS4 version. The version with boosters and a couple very minor changes. But the big one being warping being fixed. But other than that, like normal gameplay stuff, normal balancing stuff, all of it's the same. The magic defense bug was fixed on the Steam version, so that's still fixed in the PS4 version. Nothing that's really going to affect the casual player. The FPS on the PS4 version, I found to be very strange. Unless I was playing at ×3. If I wasn't playing at ×3, it felt very off. And I don't know if that's just a me thing. I've never actually went through and tested it for real to find out what the FPS really is. But I always found the FPS to feel weird. So hopefully that's not the case. Also, I've heard that the backgrounds on the PS4 version are slightly blurred, similar to like the Final Fantasy VIII quote-unquote remaster. And if that's the case, then this version might actually look worse than the version we have. So those are all potential problems, but we don't know till it releases, so we'll see. You know, we don't know what this version is, but those are just things to be weary about. But I think from a casual standpoint, from most people, this is really not going to make any big difference. Also, if you own the Steam version, you get the new version. So another reason to just go out and buy the Steam version right now, because if it ends up being like 20 or 30 bucks, you'll get it for free. And right now, the Steam version's $5. Yeah, a lot of people are saying like it'll be nice because it'll have better controller support. I never really had issues with the Final Fantasy, with Steam and controller support. I did way back before Steam Input was a thing. But nowadays, I don't have any issue with it. I don't use it very often, but when I do, I don't really have any issues. And you can also go into the customization thing and change all the buttons, which you can't do in the PS4 version, by the way. So they better fix that. Because if they were to literally port the PS4 version over with no differences, then X would be confirmed, and there's no way to change it. Which would be hilarious. If they replace the Steam version with a version that you can't change the confirm button, I would lose it. But, yeah, it should have better controller support. It should potentially not have the custom launcher, which apparently everyone hates. I don't really understand why everyone hates it so much, but the thing that pops up that you can log into your Square account. People are saying online you have to log into your Square account to play Final Fantasy VII, which isn't true, I don't think. So I don't know what they're yapping about, but you have that launcher that you have to use to launch the game, and that will probably not be there anymore. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah. So overall, it should be, hopefully, a better version of the game. And so most people, I don't think, will have an issue with it or really care about it. Other than just kind of the weirdness of, we've had this version for a decade. They're randomly replacing it with something that's not really that much better. So just kind of weird, right? Now, all of that aside, this new version of Final Fantasy VII could be catastrophic for the mod scene and the speedrun scene. Now, the mod scene, I'm not too worried about, because as long as the file structure is the same, which it should be, because they never really made any changes to the game other than super minor stuff in all of the different versions. I mean, you have the original PC version, the Steam version, the PSP version, the PS4 version, the PS5 version, the Switch version, the mobile version. You have all these different versions of the game, and they've really never, ever changed any of the way that the files work, any of the F-level stuff, any of the scenes. It's all been the same, other than very minor fixes like the magic defense bug and stuff like that. So I think that the mod scene will be okay. At the very most, they're just going to have to make minor changes for it to look in the right spot for the files, or there's going to have to be a new thing put in place to basically like decrypt the files differently to find where, like if scene.bin was no longer just in a folder and it's actually baked into the exe or the other files, then like there's gonna have to be something done to open it up and stuff. But I think, you know, the mod scene has been around for so long, and there's so many brilliant people in the mod scene that I think no matter what Square does, people will be able to figure it out. My bigger issue with it, and this isn't Square's fault, don't get me wrong, like I'm not blaming Square here, but my concern is older mods, stuff like New Threat, stuff like Hardcore, stuff like the Final Mix, which was never finished. Mods like that, the creators aren't really around anymore or not doing modding anymore. And so they might just be left in the dust unless people pick it up and fix them, which I think some will be willing to do, but others, depending on the creator, might not want to overstep and mod a mod. So that could be a potential issue for playing old mods. You might just need the old version of the game to play the old mods, which would be a shame, because then new people can't play old mods if they don't own the old one already. So that could be a shame. But other than that, I think it will be okay overall. Hopefully. Barring, like, them actually completely redoing the game on purpose to screw with mod creators or something, which they've never done that in the past with anything, so I don't expect them to, but we genuinely have no idea. We still don't even know if this is the PS4 version or not. That's just what we figure. We really don't know at all what this is going to be. So, but that's just something to think about. Now, the biggest thing is the speedrun of the game. And I don't know this for a fact, but I've been, you know, following and close to the speedrun and speedrunning the game myself for 10 years. And knowing what I know about the past of the speedrun, as well as the people that moderate the speedrun and the people that are currently speedrunning, I think the speedrun is probably cooked. Genuinely, completely cooked. I think that the PC speedrun as we know it, when this happens, which we also have no idea when it's going to happen, by the way, but probably really soon. I think when this happens, the PC speedrun will literally die. Which would be a huge shame. But I don't think there's any stopping it, unfortunately. The reason being that which I didn't even know this till recently, but the PS4, PS5 port with the boosters and stuff, they fixed warping in that version. No, the speedrun didn't die with unfocus glitch. People are still speedrunning it today. We just had that big, which I think it was actually on the PS1 version, but we just had that big, like, cheating scandal happen. Like, the Final Fantasy VII speedrun is still going strong. The PC run has always been one that isn't super popular, but just has, like, 1 or 2 people running it at the same time. And the issue with the PC run right now is it is incredibly optimized to the point where you're just playing Midgar over and over again and then hoping that when you get out, you just get a better wrong warp. And the world record right now gets such a good wrong warp that it's just kind of massive oof to try to compete with. So the PC speedrun really isn't in the best position right now anyways, but we've said that about the PC speedrun for 10 years. You know, when Yuffie warping was first a thing and someone got perfect Yuffie warping luck, it was like, well, it's dead. And then another skip is found. We do that. Up, now it's dead. Another skip is found. I mean, this has been like every year. Every year for the past 5 years, we've found some massive thing that has changed the PC speedrun, which is crazy that many things have been found. But we've had a crazy renaissance over the past couple years. More has been found in Final Fantasy VII over the last couple of years than its entire life, which is crazy to think, but it's true. So, although it's in a bad place right now, it doesn't mean it would have stayed in a bad place forever. But once this update happens, the default PC version is going to be this new version. And if this new version has warps fixed, because I thought that the reason that warping worked was because it was on a PC and the way that PC operates memory is different. What I didn't know is that they specifically fixed warping in the PS4 version. It's not just that it's on console. They specifically fixed it. So if they use the PS4 version for this, warping is going to be fixed. So, long story short, warping won't be available on the version that everyone can purchase. This means that either the leaderboards are going to have to be updated, and we're only going to be running on this new version and all the other runs are going to be deleted, or there has to be a category split between legacy and new. That's for sure what's going to happen. They're not just going to delete 10 years of PC run history. So what's probably going to happen is they're going to make 2 separate categories. But here's the problem with that. Number 1, Final Fantasy VII already has 7 million categories. Number 2, if you split the categories between here's the version that you can go to Steam to buy and play right now in speedrun, here's the version that not only do you already have to install a separate mod in order to speedrun it because it's so busted, but on top of that, you have to purchase a Steam account that has this version of the game on it because it's delisted. Nobody in their right mind is ever going to run that category except the people that already run it. And we all know how speedrunning works. If the only people that run a game are the people that currently run the game, it will eventually die. So the category split is for sure the best way to do it, but it is going to 100% kill the PC run that we all know. The 1 hour, 1.5 hour, wrong warp, crazy speed run is just not going to exist in the future because there's just no shot that anyone is ever going to run this. I mean, maybe we get a crazy person like myself. But the point is, it's going to be really hard to sell that speedrun to people. A delisted version of the game that you also have to install all this crap just to even run because the FPS is so off, and you know, it's already a hard sell. I've talked about this before. The Final Fantasy VII speedrun is an incredibly hard sell to people. And I've had issues with this in the past where I tried to get things changed. We finally got Speed Square, which does most of the work for you. So now you don't have to install crazy FPS counters and everything. You can just install Speed Square and be good to go. So that helped a lot. But now it's on a delisted version of the game. Like, it's just going to make it even worse to an already super niche category. So it's going to be hard to sell that speedrun. So if this is, but here's the other problem. If this is just the PS4 version and it just has boosters and that's the only difference, there's already a category for that. There's already a PS4 category for that. So that's just going to be the PS4 category, but like the PC version, which is really confusing. But that already exists. No one's going to jump on that as like a new speed run because it already exists, and it's like a 6-hour speed run. I think it's actually like 4 hours with the disc 1 skip. So that will just be the new run that people would do on PC, and that would just be that. So there's really no good answer here. Like, it's just kind of, no matter what happens,
let's end this.
The run is just not going to look very great to anyone to run. You're going to have maybe 1 or 2 diehards that are like, I specifically want to run a 1.5 hour category of Final Fantasy VII, and I already own the correct version, and I already have Speed Square, and, you know, I want to run this. But everybody else is just going to run, at that point, the PS1 version, or the PS4 version, or the PS4 version on PC. And that's just going to kind of be that. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But
no time to waste. Let's
go.
Go.
Be clear, because I know a lot of people like aren't in the speedrun scene and maybe don't kind of understand where I'm coming from. None of this is like, screw you, Square, how could you ruin the speedrun? I think that this is a pretty nice move for them to do. I like that if you own the original, you get the new one for free. I like that they're trying to update the default way of playing Final Fantasy VII before Part 3 of the remake comes out. So their idea is like, we're going to release Part 3 of the remake within the next couple of years. We want people to play the original game. So how do we update that for people? And we already have the PS4, PS5 version, but what about PC runners? Well, or PC players? Well, PC players are still playing the old version from 2013. It doesn't even have the boosters. So like, let's update the default Steam Final Fantasy VII experience. So all the people that want to play it real quick to like get the story, they have like this boosted version. So I totally get why they're doing it. I don't blame them for doing it. I think it's pretty nice the way they're doing it. The fact that save files don't carry over kind of sucks, but for the target that they're going for, it makes sense that that shouldn't matter. That really only affects us. That doesn't really affect new people playing the game. I think this will drum up some hype for like playing the original game, like I said, right before Part 3 comes out. So I really do think that what they're doing here is smart. It only sucks that it just happens to affect all of us that you know, either speedrun the game or challenge run the game or mod the game or whatever. But that's not Square's fault. And I'm not out here trying to blame Square like, you didn't think about the 0.1%. I do like it when developers think about their most dedicated fans and try to do what they can to make them happy as well as the general audience. But at the end of the day, they're a business. I get it. I think this is the best move forward. I'm not mad at them. I think the only thing they could have done to make everyone happy would be to call this version the Steam 2013 version, and instead of delisting it, just have it as a separate listing, which I believe they did for Final Fantasy VIII. I think you can still get the original Final Fantasy VIII and the remaster, quote unquote. But that does make a lot of confusion for people, and I get that, and I could see why they wouldn't want to do that. That definitely would have helped everyone, but if they didn't want to do that, like, I get why. So, yeah. I think they're doing this in the best way they possibly could. I really like that everyone gets it for free. It just kind of, as a side effect, sucks for the speedrun community and the mod community because we've put so much work into it over the last decade, and now it's being kind of flipped. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I still think that the modding community should be fine. I think we'll figure it out. They always find a way to figure it out. So I'm not too worried about that. The only thing I'm truly worried about is the speedrun. I think the PC speedrun is going to really have an incredible uphill battle to be in any way relevant over the next couple of years. I think it's just going to kind of be a dead category, which isn't the end of the world, but does suck because that's my run. That's the run I've always done. And there's a lot of history there with me and my show, and so it kind of sucks. Yeah, it kind of sucks that like this big thing that's a big history for us is potentially gonna be cooked, but that's the way it goes, especially with speedrunning. That's always a possibility that something like that happens. So, and to be fair, that can happen even without Squaresoft setting in. You know, there can always be some terrible glitch that's found that just ruins the run, but you can't really find a good way to ban it. And so speedrunning in general always comes with the caveat of like, any day this could die. Any day this run could be not what you have played, you know, for the last couple of years. It could change in an instant. You never know what people are going to find. You never know, you know, what's going to happen. You just have to run it while you enjoy it and always be understanding that it could be gone the next day. But yeah, for me, I just have this really weird feeling. I don't know how to explain it. The best way I can explain it is like with the playground analogy. It just feels like something that's always been there in my life is going away. And it's not even going away. It's just being delisted. I can still play it. I can still use it. I can still use it to get... Ooh, that's all the water there is? Oh, yeah, boy. Ether times 4. Explosion times 4. I'm not sure where I'm actually going. Isn't there one more puzzle? Oh, don't I have to go down the other water? I'm going to have to look at the guidebook. Yeah, it's still there. I can still use it to make my videos if I don't like the new version. I can still play mods on it. You know, if we want to do new thread again, I can still play new thread on it. It's not going away. It's not changing. It's not anything, but it just feels weird. Just feels weird that this, you know, it kind of felt like the one version of the game that was just kind of always going to be there and always be there for anyone. You know, all my videos over the last 10 years, all of my challenge runs where I'm like, if you want to play this, or all of my mod runs where I'm like, if you want to play this mod, go down to the description and download and buy the game on Steam, and then there you go, you can play. That might not be a thing anymore. Like, I might be lying to people of the past. You might not be able to just buy it on Steam and play the mods. A lot of the old mods might be perma-dead after this. We don't know, so... Just feels weird. Just feels weird. But in a way, it's also a bit exciting, you know? A new way to play Final Fantasy VII. If it's not just literally the PS4 ported, then we'll probably play it on stream. If it's just the PS4 port, then I don't really have too much reason to play it. But if there is anything new at all, any even if it's just coded differently or FPS is different or something, we'll play it. So that's exciting. But yeah, just a weird times. Weird vibe. I guess there is only 2 trials. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking there was 3. So we're actually ready to go, I think. How's it going, Guyerg? we gotta find new bugs. We gotta find new bugs in the new version. If they fixed wrong warping, we gotta find wrong warping 2.0. Did I really get ambushed? This game hates me. Gotta find wrong or warping. Incorrect warping. How come we never called it incorrect warping? That's a lot easier to say than wrong warping. For the longest time, a lot of people in my community, including myself, thought it was ROM warping, just because of the way you say it. It's like, oh, it's wrong warping. That makes a lot more sense. Did he say he was charging? Dubious warping. Wrong warping? What about right warping? What about left warping? Plausible warping. No difficulty. Also, another thing that needs to be said. I'm dead. Another thing that needs to be said about all this is that thank God for them actually letting us know. You know? Like, they didn't have to. They could have just delisted it whenever they felt like it. Could have just been like, hey, it's gone, guys. So, you know, I have to really give Square props for trying to make this as easy on everyone as possible and doing what's right for their company, but also not just ticking everyone off because they can and don't really face any true backlash that matters. So, yeah, it would have been nice for them to tell us when, instead of just being like, it's going to disappear, and then put it on sale. What was the other company that did that? There was a company just recently that did that. I want to say it was EA or something. They were like, yeah, we're delisting this game, and it's also on sale. And it's like, brother. But, okay, good, he went to sleep. But, yeah. Thank God they at least told us and gave us the opportunity to brace ourselves and get ready and buy the version if we don't have it before it gets delisted. I mean, that's very nice of them to do that, given that you get the next one for free. It's very nice of them to say, if you have this version, you get the next version but we're not releasing the next version yet, so you have a chance to buy the first one, and we're putting the first one on sale. Like, that's kind of a big W. Now, the counter argument to that I saw in my Discord was like, but why are they doing it? And like, fair. I think, like I said, I think it's their way of getting people extra interested in playing the original before Part 3 comes out. Did we need another version on PC when you can just play it on console? No. But keep in mind, one of their big, their last like big investor meeting thing, they said that they want to focus more on PC. And so it makes a lot of sense that they are doing this now. And that they want to make like the current PC version of Final Fantasy VII the best version that they have. And as long as it is the best version and it's not somehow worse, then I won't mind too much. If this version is scuffed, then I'm going to be real upset. Ouch. I don't remember how I dealt with this guy last time. Because you can only darkness him for one turn. So I gotta darkness him and then do everything within one turn. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean,
I foresee no difficulty.
Other than having boosters, which like
Let's end this.
I think that boosters are great, but at the same time, completely unnecessary. It's just an extra nice bonus, but I don't know, some swear by it. A lot of people make the argument that people won't play old PS1 RPGs unless they have boosters. Which, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. In today's world, it can be difficult for somebody to pick up Final Fantasy VII and play all the way through it at normal speed. But my response to that would be, why is that a problem? Do we need every person on the face of the planet to play OG Final Fantasy VII? If they can only play RPGs if they're quick enough, then maybe they just don't need to play old PS1 RPGs. Maybe they just play the remake. Like, that's okay. It's not their thing. Like, I don't need someone that's going to hate Final Fantasy VII unless it's at ×3 to play Final Fantasy VII. I would rather people that enjoy old PS1 RPGs to play Final Fantasy VII. I don't need people that will hate it unless it's like this to play it, you know? It's nice, but like, I don't know. How many people who need the boosters are even interested to begin with? I really wouldn't imagine that many, but who knows? Maybe more than you think, but even so. I don't know. After reading that Reddit thread last night, which that tells you all you need to know, Reddit thread, but man, I read a Reddit thread on stream last night that was like, I mean, there was only a couple posts on it, so I don't think this is like the general opinion or anything, but holy crap, the stuff I was reading was like, what are we talking about? I mean, it felt like there was a general idea of every PS1 RPG is completely unplayable. Because they were saying that, first of all, the Final Fantasy VII Steam version is the worst version of the game, which it's not. It's the best version. They were saying it's completely unplayable because of the controller configuration, which you can completely change everything the controller does on the Final Fantasy VII Steam version. The only problem is that when you do like the mini games and stuff, it doesn't say circle, square, X. It says confirm, cancel. So it can be a bit confusing when you do mini games. That's it. The rest of the game is completely fine and works completely fine. But, you know, people just said, like, it's completely unplayable. I tried to play Final Fantasy VII on Steam, and it's completely unplayable. Thank God they're updating it. Like, that was the general couple comments I read, which is just crazy to me. Like, the Steam version is the version everyone plays. At least no one overreact. Yeah, it was like, what are you talking about? I think he's gonna electrocute me soon. Yeah, it's definitely not perfect. And, you know, like I said before, I think that this update will be a good one. I think this update will be a good update for people to play Final Fantasy VII if they still have not played it. I think it's overall a positive thing, which is why I'm not, like, mad at Square for doing it, even though it may mess with a lot of stuff that we've done over the years. If it's better for the better community, then I can't be selfish and be like, well, the 0.1% of people that speedrun the game are going to be real upset about this. Like, it's just not fair. It's not how it goes. When you speedrun a game, you speedrun it knowing you're the small percent. You can't be mad when they make a general decision for their company, you know. Now, when they do bend over backwards for the speedrun community or bend over backwards for the dedicated fans of a game, that's something to definitely praise and be excited about, but it's not something you should expect. It's not something you should expect from a company that has never once really indicated that any of their games are made for mods or speedruns, right? You know, if Bethesda were to come out, you know, Bethesda's actually made a lot of, like, horrible decisions in terms of mods and stuff. Like that whole Elder Scrolls thing where they started selling mods because they make their games with the understanding that their community is going to mod it, and they say that outright. Like, they create even a thing for, like, mods to exist. So they should be a lot more understanding of the mod community, but Square has never once been like, thank you for modding our games. We appreciate and understand the modding community, and we want to help to continue mod. Yeah, never. Same with speedrunning. So, like I said, if they do something for us, it's great, but it should never really be expected. We are choosing to play their games a certain way, so it's just the way it is. Man, this is just a straight up boss fight. Yeah, I mean, even if they do say something for the sake of saying something, it still doesn't mean that we should expect them to... If they were to come out and say, like, great job on that Echo S mod, which I guess maybe they did, you know, that still doesn't mean they're saying for now on, we're never going to do anything to affect the mod community. Like, they're just saying, nice job. Like, that, it's not their job to now permanently protect mods. Like, you know. Some very rare games are made with specific mod support and speedrun support in mind, but that is very few and far between. And only those games could you really make the argument that... crap. That they need to keep the mod community in mind at all times. You know, like Celeste, for example. Celeste, when it released, there was a very big tone of, like, we want people to speedrun this game. We made this game for speedrunners. There's a lot in the design of this game specifically for speedrunners. It's, of course, a casual game at the end of the day, but, like, we want to be a part of the speedrun community. The game designers themselves, the team that made the game, headed the Discord for the speedrunners. The speedrun Discord is owned and run by the creators of the game. So that's the kind of thing where if there were an update to Celeste that, like, screwed speedrunners on purpose, then the community could be like, the heck? Like, you told us to be here, why are you screwing us, right? Which, the exact opposite. They made tons of updates to the game specifically to help speedrunners for that reason. But yeah, that would be an instance where it's like, you know, I would hope you would keep us in mind, given that you kind of made this for us and with us in mind, and we're the ones kind of keeping your game in the limelight. How'd we do this? Reflect? Oh no, I have no MP. Oh no, we're doomed. I can't reflect. We're doomed. No, the snowboard records are on PS1. So, my snowboard records are safe. Wow, Kamari just lived with 1 HP. Nat. Like that was not an ability. That was cool. Yes, the snowboard records are safe. Bro, he's so fast. What? Oh my... I thought maybe, because he's weak against every element, I thought maybe Titus would do a lot of damage. Holy, that's a way to kill him. And he was gonna do his whole setup after that, so I did it right in time. I'm gonna bring in Lulu because I want her to get overdrive. I don't think the encounter rate has changed. I think that's just the encounter rate in 10 is a bit high. Wow, natural 7s. What is going on? I get a natural 1, I get a natural 7s. Last week, the final day of enemy trivia, I got natural 7s. Should I go play the lottery? Oops. Double oops. Triple oops. February 4th is when the sale ends? Possibly. I don't think they would have announced this very far out from doing it. I think they are literally ready to press the button, and they were like, let's give them a little bit of time. but I think it's ready. Like they wouldn't make this announcement if it wasn't ready. And this was really just an announcement to us, which again, I'm very thankful for that they even thought of us, because a lot of companies would just be like, beep. Yeah. So I really do give a huge shout out to them for the way that they handled this. But yeah, I would not be surprised if in early February they hit the button. I'm pretty sure the general consensus for this is positive, so I don't think there's any, like... I don't think there's any chance of them changing their mind. I think the general reception is positive. My reception to this is pretty positive, if I'm being honest. It's only the fact that mods might be in trouble and the speedrun might be in trouble, but it's still a good thing. We're getting a new version of the game that's better on PC. There's really not... It just depends. It really depends on what the version is, because we still don't know. I think if it's only the PS4 version, and they didn't do anything else to it, then it's going to be a bit of a why did you bother? But it's not going to be a bad thing. It's just going to be why did you bother? But yeah, overall, it's a net positive. You're not going to see me on their Twitter page being like, please don't do it. Why remove the old game? Because it would be very confusing to those that want to play the old game before Part 3 comes out, to have two practically identical versions on the store, because if it is just the PS4 version, they're going to be very, very close to identical. But yeah, they did do that with Final Fantasy VIII. They could have done it with this one. So that is one thing that I said earlier, like, depending on what this version is, I'm not 100% sure why they couldn't have just kept the 2013, especially because they're changing the name. They're changing the name to 2013 version. So you should be able to look at that and immediately say, like, okay, this is an older version. So I don't know. I mean, they really could have kept both. And they are keeping both. It's just, it's delisted. They're not touching the old version, which they could have. I guess the reason that I'm not that frustrated about it is because it could have been so much worse. It could have been, we woke up today and the game that we've played for the past decade is just gone off the face of the planet. And the tool that I've used to make every huge Final Fantasy video that you've known over my entire career is just gone. And now we just have a crap PS4 port with boosters and mobilized menus, like the Final Fantasy IX Steam version. Just some terrible mobile menu looking, MIDI music playing, booster cheat version of Final Fantasy VII that is now the default version you have to play on PC. And they could have just pressed that button and rode off into the sunset and never said anything about it, and that could have been it. Like, 100% that could have happened. I would not put it past them. And other companies have done similar things. Like, could have easily happened. So the fact that they warned us, the fact that we can keep the old version, the fact that maybe this version is a better version and we'll all be better off for having it, is all very positive. So
they'll be upon us soon. She has sent fiends to test our summoner's strength.
Who is she?
my mom.
Yuna Leska.
Lady Yuna Leska.
In Zanarkand, she awaits the arrival of the strongest.
She is still alive?
As much as Micah and Seymour.
I see.
Lost your nerve?
No. Nothing frightens me now.
Love that line.
Braska would be proud.
Then I must not let him down.
Something about the way she says that with such conviction. Like, you believe her when she says it, you know? She's not just puffing up. You believe her when she says nothing frightens her. It's a great line. Having said that, this mod frightens me. Please, Yuna, help. We have no MP with anyone. I made a horrible mistake. I hope you die to death. You do. I did before. Yeah. I am terrified of this boss. Because... What? Dude, I thought I was getting 40 MP for a second. I was about to freak out, and then I realized he's undead. I don't know how I'm gonna kill this thing. Wait, he doesn't have a counterattack. We should be fine. This is probably a mistake. I don't think Titus can hit this thing.
See ya!
Oh, we hit it.